Thank you for joining us today for another exclusive interview sponsored by Emovet. Help your horses reach their maximum potential with Emovet's line of natural homeopathic products. I'm your host today, Aurélien Germain. Today we are joined by William Haggas, one of Europe's leading trainers, as he gears up Lake Forest for a new challenge in Australia. The prestigious King Charles III Stakes, a coveted Group 1 opportunity that has so far eluded the talented runner. After a remarkable first campaign down under, Lake Forest returns with fresh ambitions and a tailored preparation strategy aimed at securing that elusive top-level victory. We'll explore his travel plans, race targets, and how this second Australian venture shapes his international campaign and future Group 1 aspirations on both sides of the globe. Join us for an insightful conversation with a true expert in global racehorse training. William, great to have you here.
Nice to be here.
So what are your travel plans for getting Lake Forest to Australia?
Well, he's gone into quarantine already. He went in last Friday, the 5th of September. He has to have 2 weeks. He'll have actually just over 2 weeks. He flies on Sunday, the 21st, via Hong Kong. And I think the plan is to pick up Kai Ying Rising, the Hong Kong superstar. And then the two of them, with a couple of others, will fly from Hong Kong to Australia. He'll arrive there presumably on the 23rd of September. He then has to have 2 weeks quarantine at Canterbury Racecourse in Sydney. And then he's allowed out, I think, I can't remember when it is, but it's about a week before his scheduled first race.
That's good. And when do you plan to arrive for the race yourself?
I don't think I'll be able to go because the race is on the 18th of October and it is British Champions Day that day.
Oh,
So I'm likely to be here.
okay, fair enough. And the King Charles III Stakes obviously offers Lake Forest that elusive Group 1 opportunity that seems to be, just eluding him, as I mentioned earlier. How does this race suit him better than the Golden Eagle?
Well, he obviously he won the Golden Eagle, which was restricted to 4-year-olds only, 3-year-olds in the Northern Hemisphere and 4-year-olds in the Southern Hemisphere. This is an open race for any horse. This will be a tougher assignment than the last one, and it's obviously the spring for the Australians, and it's the autumn for us. So we've been in training all summer. And he's run a few times in England, so there's a chance that he might not be absolutely at his best. We think he will be, but that's obviously the risk you take.
For sure. Did Lake Forest have any prep races in the UK or Europe, before?
Yeah, he ran on the 23rd of August at York in a Group 1 race. He was beaten half a length, finished very well. That was over 7 furlongs. So we think the mile in Australia will suit him well.
Excellent. And let's talk a little bit more about the owner, Tony Bloom. How did you first meet him?
Well, I trained for him quite a long time, more than 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
He was in partnership with a friend of his, and they trained together and had 10 horses with us at that time. And then he had a spell without horses with us, and then he came back 3 years ago, and he's got 5 horses with us at the moment, 5 older horses, and they're all rated over 100, which is quite a high rating for the UK.
And how is this relationship with Mr. Bloom, I guess, evolving?
Well, Mr. Bloom has a big management team. He's a very busy man. He's a workaholic. He also has a football club, Brighton and Hove Albion, who do very well in England. And I don't speak to Mr. Bloom very much,
Okay.
see him occasionally at the races, but I speak at length with his management team all the time.
Perfect. And could you tell us a little bit more about how Lake Forest actually came to you? Did you buy him from Mr. Bloom? What really happened?
No, he was, I think, I can't remember whether he was book 1 or book 2 at Newmarket. His racing advisor gives me a list of pedigrees he likes. I go and look at them. I then rate them between 1 and 10. 1 is dreadful and 10 is marvelous. And all his other trainers, I think he's got four other trainers, do exactly the same. And basically, the one that gives the highest rating to the horse gets to buy him or try to buy him.
And what did you look for into, I guess, Lake Forest? What did you find?
Well, he's a very strong horse. He's a good walker, good mover, but he's not very big. And that's he's 15.2. When he was a yearling, he was obviously smaller than that. But I like small horses. I think small horses who grow can be medium-sized horses, and that's perfect for me. I find the big horses that get bigger, I find they have soundness issues and they're more immature, and the small ones that don't grow are a disaster usually.
Sounds good. How does your training and preparation, I guess, differ from, switching from a condition race to a group one?
Well, he ran in a Group 1 last time, and he's running several Group 1s this year already. He was second in a Group 2 at Goodwood before he was second in this Group 1. So he's of that standard. So I don't have to do much with him. All I have to do is have him good mentally and good physically. And at the moment, and we're quite a long way out yet, we're a month out, he's in a very good place. So I'm happy with him at this stage.
That's great. That sounds very good. Very promising, I guess. That's good. And after the King Charles, is there any other race, specifically in Australia, that he might be targeting?
Well, the plan at the moment, and we've got all the shipping in place and we've done all the scans that are needed in Melbourne. The plan is to run in the Champions Mile, which is a mile race at Flemington in Melbourne on the 8th of November. And then there is a possibility we might go for the mile championship in Kyoto, Japan,
Oh,
on the 23rd of November. But that's to be discussed in further detail. We've sounded out the Japanese authorities, who seem to be quite keen on the idea. We need to just dot a few I's and cross a few T's, but that he could do that. He could come home from Melbourne. So we haven't sorted anything out. A lot will depend, obviously, on how he runs.
for sure. Is he generally speaking a good traveler, like to be able to move to Australia and
Well,
potentially Japan?
we don't know that, but he went to Australia last year as a 3-year-old and took the trip in his stride and obviously won the Golden Eagle. So he clearly travelled well last year. But don't be under any illusion that travelling racehorses across the world, as with travelling humans, is not as straightforward as it appears. So we need a lot of luck and a lot of things to go our way. We've got a long wait in Hong Kong, long flight to Hong Kong, and then a 7 or 8 hour wait in Hong Kong, and then a long flight to Sydney. So it's a pretty arduous trip for him.
For sure. What do you normally do to make sure that Lake Forest or in general horses arrive or travel safely and arrive in Australia at its absolutely best?
Well, it's out of our hands really, because the flying grooms, the people that go with them, with the vet, they're in charge of them. We like them to have a stall on their own, and we feel that helps with the travel, and we can let them down and they can move around, get their heads down if they need to. And these days, their temperature is monitored constantly. There's a new device now, which I don't know how it works, but they can watch their temperature all the time. So the keys, we feel, are that they drink, obviously water, not anything else, and that they keep hydrated as best they can and their temperature's normal.
Good. So, and finally, on to the last question with us. Is there any specific European Group 1 target, that remains on your radar for him this year or next year?
Well, I'd love to win all the Group 1s in Europe, obviously, but there are some lovely Group 1 races in England. There's nothing left for him in Europe now. But the Group 1 races next year, obviously, that we'll look at are the Queen Anne, which he ran in this year, the Sussex Stakes, which he didn't run in this year, ran in the 7 furlong race, and the Jacques Lemara in Deauville, the Moulin in Longchamp, So there are quite a few smart Group 1 races, obviously, starting with the Hawkens in May at Newbury. But we've had all that this year, and so we have to start again. And let's hope the King Charles III Stakes is the right race for him.
For sure. Let's hope for the best, for sure.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, William, to join this interview today. That was great.
My pleasure.